Hello everybody, it's Josh, Power Tools and Supply. Just wanted to talk to you for a second about why I do this, how I got into it, in case anybody was interested somewhere. I'm trying to figure out how to get started. I know whenever I decided to start messing with this, I didn't have a lot of material out there. There's a couple guys out there that are pretty good, but you got to watch all their stuff to get everything that you need to kind of understand how it works. So, for the most part, you're gonna need a little bit of money. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of money. Like y'all can tell, you got to buy inventory. You can start small. I started with tools in the back of my Chevrolet pickup truck and just drove around and basically put it all on the tailgate and said, hey guys, just new, getting started, y'all interested in any of this? And then went to the next guy. Hardest part's being able to get out of your comfort zone and talk to people. It's not something that's easy. And then knowing what to say and when you're not wanted there anymore and when it's time to go. It takes a while. I've been doing it for 2 years. Not hugely successful, but at the same time, sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been nothing. So you just got to be able to deal with that. And then the hardest part also is figuring out where to get your stuff from. Most people that run across independent dealers say, oh, you're the guy that gets it from Amazon, and that's not true. I do use Amazon to see how things are priced because they do a lot of business, and more than likely people are going to go behind you anyway and say, well, Amazon's got it at this price. So, what I'd say is sometimes you can check yourself with that and see how close you are or far away you are on your pricing. But for the most part, there's a handful of people out there. I'm going to say the most helpful group out there is these guys. Sorry, I know that's backwards, but ToolWeb, ISN Network. You also got a handful of other places out there. They're not quite as large, but they are. Sometimes they'll bail you out if you got more than one source, and you have to sometimes go wherever you can get it the cheapest, so make your money. But ToolWeb's definitely been the most beneficial for me. They got great customer service. They work with you. They got a lot of information. If you don't know a lot about a product, they can help you out with that. You usually end up with someone that handles your account, and so far, great. Especially the person I deal with. So, and then, once you kind of establish where to get stuff from, mustering up the courage to actually go talk to people. Obviously, you need a business license and all your paperwork, and for all your wherever you live, your city licenses and fees and all that stuff. If you got somebody that does, your taxes and your financial stuff, usually they can tell you everything you need and probably do it for you if you give them some money. So that's kind of how that got started. Going and talking to them about that and saying, hey, can you do this for me? Yep, sure, as long as you pay me. So picking a good name, it's got a lot to do with it. And then also, once you kind of figure out, hey, this is my name, this is what I want to do, I know where to get stuff from. There's a lot of paperwork, filling out forms and funding, money. You got to figure out where you're going to get money from, who you're going to get money from. You got to figure out how you're going to pay for things, and are you going to do accounts? Are you doing cash, cards? credit, all that stuff. There's people out there that'll, especially big ticket stuff like toolboxes. There's companies out there that'll they'll handle the financing for you when it comes to big stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about doing that on yourself. And then you also got what I would say is how you're going to get your stuff where you're going to take it. Obviously, I chose what was affordable to me, and I got an enclosed trailer, and I did the inside of it and got lights and built shelves, and you can probably get away with buying shelves if you wanted to, but basically I built the shelves in here and arranged this in a way that kind of reminded me of a tool truck. So got money, spending money, buy you a tool truck, you ain't got to do none of that. Definitely easier, but more expensive, a lot more expensive. So if you got it, use it. If you don't, do what I did and basically improvise. So what I run into most of the time is, even though I've been doing it for 2 years, a lot of the guys have allegiance, let's just say, to Snap-on and Matco and Mac and all the other ones out there. And those guys basically just, what I found out is it's kind of, at least in my area, it's indoctrinated into them at tech school or wherever they went to school, that those are the tools you got to have, because you can't be successful unless you got the expensive stuff. I'm sorry, but these other people that make these tools, Ingersoll Rand, Milwaukee, DeWalt, Gear Wrench, they've closed the gap. It's not exactly one-to-one, but I'm going to say they've closed the gap pretty dang good for the money. Especially a new technician don't need to go buy all that for as much money as they want for that stuff. It just don't make sense. So what I would say for somebody just starting out trying to do something like this, do what you can afford. If you're doing it full time, you need to be all in. I mean 100%. Give it everything you got, and even whenever you go do your routes all day and you didn't sell anything, you got to come home, check prices, find sales, do your paperwork, and you got to do it again tomorrow. And time will basically help you out on that, because you'll establish a relationship, which is trust, and then next thing you know, guys will call you instead of the other guy, because they're tired of spending all that money on something they can get for you from you cheaper. So I would say not everybody's going to come to your side. The guy that's been buying Snap-on stuff for 20 years is going to keep buying Snap-on stuff. But I would say my biggest area that I've been able to get clients would be the newer guys that have been taught they need to buy Matco, Snap-on, all that, which there's nothing wrong with it. They make good stuff. But whenever they realize they can get more stuff for the money than they're trying to get from the other guys, that usually they end up on my trailer with me. So it's just, you gotta kind of put it in front of them though, because if you try and say my stuff's better, come over here, it's not true. It is very, very close, equal. A lot of stuff is better, but it's the name. It's the name. So I'd say you got to work customer to give them all the information to help them make a good decision. And if they don't want your stuff, they don't want your stuff. So I would say new guy coming in trying to do this, if you can do it part-time for a while to make sure you can swing it and make it work, and you like it enough to do it full-time, because it can be rough. You can have 2-3 days, you can have weeks where people just don't want nothing, because believe it or not, tool business is seasonal. And I say seasonal, I mean obviously people need stuff when they need stuff, but guess what? Everybody saves up money for Christmas, and they start doing it around Thanksgiving. And if you do business with schools and you do business with places that have accounts that have to be paid and money that has to be spent at certain times during the year, after that, it ain't happening. So you got to be prepared for that, and you got to find what you're good at. Some people can sell flashlights like nobody's business, but can't get an impact to walk out the door for nothing. That don't mean you need to fill it full of flashlights, but it does mean that, people in your area might not want toolboxes because they all got toolboxes and they're all new. Don't buy a bunch of toolboxes. So that's what time and knowing your customers will do for you. I guess if you have any questions, shoot me something. I'll try and answer it the best I can. And like I said, I ain't been doing it for 20 years. It's just something I figured if I could give someone another way of finding out how to do this, if that's what they really want to do, that's what I was going to do. Alright? Maybe another video, maybe not. Depends on if my wife says this was done. Bye.